My grandparents have provided a lot for me and my brother over our 18-year lifespan. They took on a big parenting role for us when we were at a very young age for us, and we could never thank them enough. At a young age, my mom was 22 when she had me and my brother. She was in college trying to better her life to be able to provide the best life she could for me and my brother. My grandparents understood that, and they took on a big parenting role in our early childhood. They kept food in our bellies and a roof over our heads. They showed us how to be children. They took us on walks. They did everything with us that they did with my mom when she was a kid. In this picture, you can see this would be me, that would be my grandfather, that would be my grandmother, and that would be my brother. You know, this picture speaks volumes to how we were younger. We loved our grandparents. Never wanted to leave their side because they were almost like our heroes. They did everything for us. You know, I keep this photograph on my desk, and it reminds me of the younger times, our early and mid-childhood, because this is a photograph. Photographs say 1,000 words. You know, when I see this photograph, I think of the song Photograph by Ed Sheeran, and a specific lyric from that I got off of geniuslyrics.com, which says, "We keep this love in a photograph." This is my love. This is my heart in one photograph. My family, and especially my grandparents. You know, recently I contracted COVID-19, and it was a very rough time for me and my family, and it still is. I'm still recovering from it. My grandmother was one of my first calls when I told her that I got COVID-19, because she was actually at my household. And she told me, you know, I want you guys to be safe. Well, just a few days ago, she called me again, and we were just having a normal grandson to grandmom conversation, and she started to tear up. And I think we all have that one family member that, you know, when they start to get emotional, you start to get emotional. You start to cry. And she started to tear up. Her tone started to get a little low and like depressing. And I could hear her lip quivering in the microphone. You know, and she started to cry because she said she never wants to see anything happen to me and my brother. And now that there's this deadly pandemic, she wants us to be very careful. When I thought I should be worrying about her, she was always worrying about me. And she has always been that way. Because she loves us. This quote I found from the website called familyquotes.com really describes the way I feel about my relationship to my grandmother and grandfather, and it says, "One of the best feelings in the world is knowing your presence and absence both mean something to someone." The conversation I had with my grandmother really epitomized this quote, because she was crying because she said she never wants to see me and my brother leave this world. And we could say the same thing about her and my grandfather. The last reason I could just never repay my grandmother and grandfather for everything they've done for us, and ultimately what we praise them for, is the fact that they're just so giving and caring. Me, my brother, and my mother are all in a very financially rough environment right now, and we could say the same thing about our grandparents. We don't have the most money, but we make do. When I need gas, or when my brother needs gas, my grandparents are the first ones to give us money. When we're hungry, they're the first ones to give us food. When we need something and we tell our mom that, and she talks to my grandparents on the phone, they always bring it up for us. No hesitations, no questions asked. They do everything for us that we ultimately can't do for ourselves monetarily, because they love us and they care about us. The final quote I want to provide to you and leave off to you is from legacy.com. And it epitomizes what me and Mason think about our grandparents and how we feel about them. And it says, sometimes our grandmas and grandpas are like grand angels. Without your grandparents, without my grandparents, I know I wouldn't be the man I am today.